Top of the day to you and welcome to the Fresh Anointing Show. Thanks for joining us on another great day. I'm glad that you are here with us. And you know what I say, it is a day that we are to rejoice and to be glad in it. As you should know, or you do know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And here it is where we do annual campaigns to raise the awareness about the impact of breast cancer. And thanks for joining the Fresh Anointing Show as we take a pause and to raise awareness about uplifting and helping women in need that has breast cancer or survivors of breast cancers as we recognize October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I have with me today special guests. Is no other than Carly Freeman. What's happening, Carly?
How you doing, Jay?
I'm good. I'm good. When we talk about this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I think many times we forget about that. Especially we kind of keep doing business as usual. And we don't really think about the importance of breast cancer awareness. There's a lot that goes into it. As a matter of fact, I was watching the news the other day and I saw they had this lady on that was a survivor of breast cancer. And it was great as they interviewed her and talked to her. Everything around her was pink. Her decoration, her decor in her home was pink. She wore pink. Just everything around was pink. But she was a survivor. But she's sort of like you. She was doing everything that she could to help people to really understand and be aware of breast cancer. And you know, to talk about that, you are a survivor of breast cancer as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and proud of it. I'm not a pink person, never been a pink person, because I'm like a huge tomboy, but pink has been my color this month, just to, represent. Of course, I'm not wearing it right now because I don't have a lot of pink in my closet, but behind the scenes, regardless, I'm always ready to lend a voice when it's something this important.
Yeah, that's good. Now, you are heavily involved in the breast cancer awareness, but that's not your full-time job. This is something special and something extra that you do. What do you do to put food on the table, as they say, right?
Well, I am CEO of 3 companies of my own. One is, of course, how you and I met as being an accounting executive. So I, prepare taxes and help people with their books and, give advice when I can and those types of things. So that's one of the things that I do. I recently became CEO of a jewelry company, and I'm also CEO of the Ehlers-Danlos Awareness Association. So that is kind of where my awareness gift started, was spreading awareness to Ehlers-Danlos, which is a connective tissue disorder, and I struggle with that daily, and it has become pretty chronic. In dealing with a lot of those symptoms. And then now, as a survivor, I add awareness to breast cancer to, that spectrum of, what I can use my voice for.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. When we talk about breast cancer awareness, tell us about your experience and how was it all diagnosed? What took place during that time? How did it affect your life?
Well, again, I was saying that, I struggle daily with the connective tissue disorder. So I was already, compromised from a health aspect. And I went in for, mammogram, like, you should do as a woman. And my doctor called me back and was like, hey, we need you to come back in. I'm like, for what? And that same night, I did my regular breast exam, and it was a huge lump right there. Like, I would have never even really paid it any attention. Of course, they say do your exam, your self-exam, but that's just something that I just never really focused on, because it's really not a big thing in my family, to be diagnosed with breast cancer. But obviously it can affect anybody. So after that, I had another mammogram. They said, absolutely, we need you to do a biopsy. I went in for the biopsy. They were optimistic. And then probably about 2 weeks later, my oncologist called and was like, it's a little bit more advanced than we thought. So we're going to have to deal with this and deal with it aggressively. Because of my Ehlers-Danlos, radiation was not an option. Chemo absolutely is not an option because of my Ehlers-Danlos. So my personal decision, and everybody has their own decision to make, but my personal decision was to just go ahead and have the double mastectomy. So that is what I chose to do for me, my health, and my family, because I wasn't going to deal with this, next year. They say, hey, it came back, yeah, we're not going to do this. So, the good thing about it is so many choices that you can make to have it taken care of. But it's really crazy because after I was diagnosed, just talking to my friends, I just found out, my assistant coach, because I'm a basketball coach too, my assistant coach was diagnosed last year. Had no idea. I talked to her all the time, and I had no idea that she was diagnosed and treated. She went through radiation, and she's a survivor. And then from then on, 3 more people that I know very intimately were diagnosed. I was like, am I living in a bubble or something? Am I missing something? We definitely need to bring awareness to this, because this is way too prevalent for me. And it's always, every time I talk to someone, oh yeah, I know someone who got diagnosed this summer, last summer. Wow, I didn't realize. And I guess it's with anything, you don't really notice it until it hits home, and it hit home. So.
Wow, that is, I don't know, it's something when you think about it, it is tragic when you hear news like that. And especially, as you say, being in a bubble. And I think that's where many of us are. We're in a bubble when it comes to breast cancer awareness. What would you say to ladies, to women today? How important is it to make sure that you get your mammograms, that you get checked, not just every now and then, but often? I guess maybe that's the word, often.
Yes. After you reach a certain age, and I believe it's 35 now, don't quote me, I'm not a physician, but I think it is 35. It's recommended every 2 years for a woman to get a mammogram. And I've learned since high school to do a self-exam, and I'm like, what am I looking for? Now I know. We have to, be diligent, because we're the ones who knows our body the best. No one else knows our body. We live this every day. And it doesn't just affect women. Breast cancer can affect men too. So men should also, do those exams, under that muscle tissue, and just check for anything that's just not normal. And mine was like I don't know, you remember the marbles? There's like a small marble, and then there's the bigger marble.
Right.
Well, mine was the size of a large marble. And I'm like, okay, so where'd that come from? Because you don't feel it. I was extremely nauseous, but I was like, it's part of, my Ehlers-Danlos. I go through it, but now I know, no, that was my body saying, hey, check me. There's something seriously not right. So I would just say, definitely get your mammograms. Go have those annual exams, men and women. You have to have that annual exam and do your self check. Know your body. If something's different, write it down. Write down what you're feeling. Write down when it happens, and then present it to your doctor, because we have to. It's important. It's our lives.
Yeah. And you mentioned something that I think is so important that I think a lot of us realize, is that men can also get breast cancer. And
Right.
that's something that we need to be aware of as well, and to make sure that we are getting checked. Because let me ask this question: the earlier the detection, is it better to realize it in the early stage, and you more well, I guess let me just switch it around to say it's better to catch it in the early stage, that it won't continue to progress.
Right. It's easier to treat. It's better. It's better to treat. It responds better to treatment early on. The more you progress, the worse it will become. You start to lose lymph nodes and other things that you kind of want to keep once it progresses. So early detection is always key.
What treatments are available for breast cancer?
There are several. One of them is radiation. They'll go in and do the radiation and try to get it from that angle. The next would be, if it's a little bit more aggressive, that the radiation is not taking care of it, chemotherapy. I do know that they're trying to get some new oral drugs that you can take that would help to, take care of it. As you get more aggressive, you can have the mastectomy, single or double. It's up to the doctor's choices, but those are the 5 things that I learned just, going through my little path since June of this year. I've learned those things about how to treat, even though they were not options for me. They're still options for, everyone, for someone else.
Yeah. Now, we kind of alluded to this earlier, but what can someone do to be able to recognize the early diagnosis for breast cancer?
The primary and most important is the self-exam. That would be step 1. You'll find it a lot easier and faster than anybody else. Secondly, definitely the mammogram, going in and get that scan. That's the second thing that I would say would be the most important to me. Those are the top two. Because had I done my self-exam as regularly as I should have, I would have caught it way earlier than it had gotten to.
Wow. Good information. Now, your organization, what is it that your organization do to get breast cancer awareness out in the public, and how much are other people involved in helping and making that happen?
My organization, the Ehlers-Danlos Awareness Association, we are known for partnering up with other movements, other organizations, just to give rise to a lot of different things. And breast cancer is just one of those things. It's October. We have to spread awareness. We're partnering up. So all of our people will hey, we're going to jump on the breast cancer awareness bandwagon and say, hey, we're going to talk about this right now. Yeah, we're still going to do Ehlers-Danlos, but breast cancer is way more important during the month of October. Next month is Giving Tuesday, so we're partnering up with Giving Tuesday. So we've chosen to partner up and use our platform to give voice to other important platforms.
That's awesome. That's so powerful. Now, I want to ask a question, and it's about our churches. How can churches get involved in helping with breast cancer awareness, and of course in their own local communities and other places?
There are a lot of local chapters of organizations that do walkathons and runs and things like that. I know that most people know about Susan Komen. There's also the breast cancer awareness, which is their national organization. Those types of organizations, just locally, if you contact them, they're awesome. They're awesome about, okay, how can we help? You guys can sponsor a walkathon. You can sponsor, pretty much any event, just to say, hey, we're spreading awareness. We want to sponsor this activity. Let's go run. Let's go walk. Let's do something. And there's always a local chapter.
Good. And you all have something going on next month, right? The beginning of next month. Is there a certain day, a certain time, or how can people get involved, and who should they contact if they want to get involved with your organization or any organization?
Yes. So next month is Giving Tuesday. That's a big thing where we want nonprofit organizations to get recognized, especially so that we can do our job and spread awareness. We can, give scholarships for, our younger generation to try to figure things out and do research. We want to give to research and stuff like that. So Giving Tuesday, we will have a page on our website for Giving Tuesday that will go live on the 1st of November, just to let them know what is Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday is actually on November 30th. So all day long, we're just going to give information. You're welcome to donate. You're welcome to volunteer. You're welcome to do whatever it is that you feel like you can to support nonprofit organizations, because without the help of the outside world, we cease to exist.
What's the URL for the website?
For our website is www.edaa.life.
Wonderful. As we get ready to close, we have been talking with Carly Freeman, who is a breast cancer survivor, and we're just glad to have you on the show. You're looking really, really good, and
Thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So it's just great to see you still have that stamina. You have that what I call that bulldog stick-to-itness, that tenacity. You're still getting out there and still helping others to be aware. As we get ready to close, what would be some closing remarks that you would say, especially to the women? What would be one thing that you would say to them that will help them to know how important breast cancer awareness is?
I would say invest in your life. That would mean when you do your self-exam, when you go see your doctor, when you do your mammogram, you're investing in your life, because there are other people in this world who love you and depend on you. And it's important that if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people. You don't have to, get on the bullhorn and, spread the word, but you can always be a part by taking care of yourself.
Yeah, that's a good word, taking care of yourself. I do a piece on Wednesdays called Wellness Wednesdays, to talk about taking care of ourselves, and that mental wellness piece is so important. And if we really take care of ourselves, like you just said, we can make sure that we stay healthy. And that's something that's important. That's important to you as a person. It's also important to your family, your loved ones. And so thank you so much, Carly, for being
You're
on the
welcome.
Fresh Anointing Show. And
You're
I want to
welcome.
get you back, again, maybe to talk about, some more of what can take place, especially for the event that's coming up on November the 30th.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I do want to say, no matter what anybody's going through, stay encouraged. Don't get bogged into what is happening. Try to find out what's next. I always ask myself that, no matter what. Okay, so what's next?
Very good. Very good. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Fresh Anointing Show with Carly Freeman, talking about, I almost said fresh, but talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as we continue on, breast cancer is not just in October, but it's all throughout the year. So let us pay attention to the events, the local things that you can get involved in, and how you can support and be of assistance, and making it known how important breast cancer awareness is, and how important it is to make sure you get checked out constantly, and doing the self-checks, as Carly has already mentioned. We want to thank you for joining the Fresh Anointing Show. And once again, Carly, excellent job, and thank you. You can catch us on the freshanointingshow.com. You can go to the freshanointingshow.com and check out all the podcasts and the videos that are there. You can also catch this one as well if someone missed it, that that should have it, that should need to listen to it. Check us out, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Until the next time, may the Lord bless you real good.
Amen.